Devonshire, and welcome to another episode of CCMC and Me. Before we get started on today's topic, let's go ahead and introduce everybody. My name is Rachel Gatlin.
I'm Wayne Detweiler.
I'm Brooke Johnson.
And I'm Gabriel Lamette.
Today we will be talking to Gabriel about his events and the attendance at the events. I have attended several events in the 6 months that you have been here, and noticed that the registration gets full, but the attendance is not. Have you come up with a policy to combat that or to try to rectify that?
Yes, so it took a lot of planning and consideration to come up with a plan to be able to help this effort. A few reasons for us looking into this is because, again, we will have events that take place, the registration will be full, and obviously from that we go ahead and spend funds. There's a lot of setup time that goes into those particular events, and then when the event comes, we have 50 to 60% of those who have actually registered actually attend the event, and so it becomes kind of a hard thing for us to be able to deal with, in the fact that we want to be wise with the funds for the community events that we're providing. In addition to the fact that there are many different people within our community that want to be able to be a part of these events, but when they go to it to register, it's showing full, and we could have had those who were really going to go ahead and attend actually be there. So what we've done is we've developed something called a no-show policy. And to kind of summarize it, and you can get more details on it within our newsletter, because we've been running that for quite some time. That gives a lot more detail of what the no-show policy would entail. But to give a brief summary on it would be the fact that if we see that we've got people who have registered for an event twice within a 60-day period, we're going to hold off them being able to register for an event for the next 45 days. Now, what that would mean is this, is that if you were a person who registered and we had no idea that you weren't coming, we'll make sure to let you know what has taken place and just kind of reiterate what this policy looks like. And then obviously if there was something that were to take place where it happened again, then we will go ahead and reserve you off of the list of being able to RSVP. Now, that does not mean that you cannot attend any events. That's not what we're doing here, because we have lots of events that no registration is needed because it's more of an open forum type of event. But for those that we have to have registration for, because it might be for the sake of food or let's say decorations and settings and things of that nature, unfortunately you would not be able to register for that particular style of event for 45 days.
So how would someone cancel? How do you prefer them to cancel, or what is your cancellation policy?
Okay, so there are several ways that you can go ahead and cancel. So all of our ticket reservations are done through Eventbrite. So you can go into your confirmation email and technically cancel the ticket that way. Also, what you can do is, if you don't have time to do that, or you can't locate that email, because I know sometimes that can happen, go ahead and give us a call here at the office. Call me, and I can go ahead and cancel it on our end. And then if there happens to be an emergency, because definitely sometimes life will happen where you just didn't get a chance to really do either or ahead of time, then go ahead and call me on my work mobile phone, and I'll make sure that we have the number showing up right there so you can be able to see it. Go ahead and give me a call just so I know, then I can make sure that, let me give a good example. Sometimes in the past with our events, when we see that spaces become available, then we'll send out an e-blast or some kind of notification on social media, or even within our app saying, hey, we've got some spots that have opened up, go ahead and register for that, because our objective at all times is to make sure that our events have full attendance. I know that we've had to have very restrained numbers with us kind of being within that post-COVID portion of things, so it's not able to be on a grand scale as we would all want and desire. So it's like our positions of being able to be at these events are even more special for people, because they're like, look, we're not able to have 100 people indoors or anything like that, because we still have certain observances in place because of COVID. And so that's why we wanted to make sure that if we're planning these types of events, we want to make them count, and the community deserves it.
And is there a confirmation? Like, will they get a confirmation to confirm that they did cancel?
Yes, I would be in contact with them, but if you did it through Eventbrite, they're also going to send you an email back saying that you no longer have your ticket, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a couple of ways we can go about it, but again, this is what I kind of like to look at as a last resort policy, just because we care about the events that take place here. A lot of time and focus is put into how these are developed, and it's not the desired effect that you want within your community when you have an event that, let's say, was going to take on 50 participants and 25 of them show up, and then the people that are at the event are also saying, wow, where was everyone else? You know, why would they register for the event and not show up? Or the one that I hear a lot is people say, I think people they see the event and they register to hold their spot and they never come back to it. That will not work if we're looking to try and make sure that we provide great service to the neighbors at Devonshire. So again, that's why we have this in place. If you do have questions regarding this policy, again, visit our newsletters. We have that in there, or go ahead and give me a call here at the office. I would love to be able to answer any of those questions for you.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Gabriel. That is some great information. Everyone, remember to register for the events, and if something comes up, make sure that you cancel. This concludes this episode of CCMC and Me. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.